Alrighty. Make sure you can see me. You can. Hi everyone. Welcome to Wheeler's Minis and another episode of Mini Paint and Chill. And specifically this one, we're looking at another Eldritch Foundry character creation stream. Yay! I'm actually super excited. Hopefully we get something a little bit different today. We've been getting some giant kin femmes recently, so I'm hoping to get something a little bit different, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. So before I get started with that, a few quick things to get out of the way. One, if you aren't already following the channel, please do. If you have the financial ability to, please consider subscribing. Don't forget that you can subscribe once for free with an Amazon Prime account. Would love it if that was me. Or if you'd like to support me otherwise, you can go on my website and purchase something there at wheelersminis.com. You should also follow me on all my socials at Wheelers Minis on pretty much everything. You're watching this on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. There's been a lot of not great stuff going on in the world today, so in the past few days. So I'm going to do what I can to be as positive as possible and hopefully bring a little bit of a smile to your day. So, first and foremost, turn the music down a bit. Turn it up so that way you can hear me better. So the way we've been doing this in the past was specifically rolling, and that's what I'm going to do again today, just to keep things random, because that's fun. And then we will kind of work on it from there. Basically, the randomness of it is just picking what species we're doing, and then what class we're doing, and then subclass. And then I make the model from there. So, yeah. What we'll do first is roll a d20, see which lineage we get, or species, and then we'll go from there. But I think that's it for the announcements, so we'll just go ahead and dive into it. And then moving forward, if this starts to get more traction, I'm going to do this every month regardless of whether there are people watching it or not, because I really want to show off Eldritch Foundry stuff. That was the other thing I was going to say. If you haven't already checked out the campaign for their Kickstarter for the colored prints that they have, seriously go check it out. There's a lot of cool stuff that are stretch goals well down the line. Super excited for all of the stuff that's coming out from them. Matt and the entire crew are absolutely wonderful. They've been super, super kind to me. I'm affiliated with them. There'll be a link going through chat every once in a while. If you wouldn't mind going to that and purchasing something from there, gives me a little kickback and helps them out. And it's an awesome, awesome resource and awesome, awesome web tool. So that's it. Now we'll get into it. We're going to do a d20 first, and then if we get the same thing that we got last time, I'll re-roll. 6. And we're skipping alien because I don't do aliens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. We are already done a furball. We're done. 2. 1. Dragonborn. Sweet. All right, so that's kind of the basis for where it's at. Let's see what class we're getting. 4. Already done druid. 10. 10. Sorcerer. We haven't done sorcerer, but we've done spellcasters the past 2 times. So I'm gonna roll one more time, and I'll stick with it as long as I haven't gotten it. 9. That was before sorcerer. Rogue. Okay, we can do that. And then rogue. Are a bunch of rogue. 2014 rogue. There's also blood. Well, hold on. What was the first one? We rolled druid first, which would be 4. 4. Actually, so fighter. We take those off the list because there were 14. Blood hunter being 11, and that being 12. So we'll do fighter. Why not? We'll do fighter. Let me look at there are a lot of fighter. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 13. 13. Guess we'll roll a 4. Champion. Ironically, that is already a character that I have created. And I've already painted it. Huh. Let's see. You know what? We're gonna re-roll. We're just gonna re-roll everything. 16. Wit. Eat. Also not legally different tabaxi. Alright, and then now we will go back to classes with Warlock and Druid gone. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Artificer is 12. 11. Blood Hunter. Okay. There's only 3 Blood Hunter orders. Oh, sorry, there's 4. So let me get a... Four. Order of the Profane Soul. We have a Warlock-based Blood Hunter. Tabaxi. Cool. Make him a little shorter. Just under 6 feet tall. Almost had to be too big. Long neck. Neck. Make him a bit bulkier. Be a bit live. Medium butt. We'll keep the tail. I don't paint with tails too often. Alright. No horns. I think just a clean head for him is good. I like just kind of the look that it has. I don't think it needs any hair. Unless it's like we've already done a mohawk. Maybe we'll make him look like that tiger from Zootopia. Alright. I don't mind this look. We'll see how I feel about it later. Humanoid eyes, yeah, that's fine. Ears are fine. I don't like a beard or anything like that. We'll make him a bit... Not bad. soften up the features just a little bit. All right. Got a bit of an overbite. All right. What do they get as proficiency? Light armor and medium armor. Gotta go Warlock to see what patrons he can have. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 5, 6. The only one I'm not doing is Ooh. The Undying is patron. Okay. Okay. We're gonna do a little bit of a weirder vibe to him. He's definitely gonna be a black cat. I know that already. I don't think I want anything on his head. All right. So he is a blood hunter, profane soul, whose patron is the Undying. Ah. Kind of like that look. Like one arm. One arm covered. The other one left open. Right hand dominant, so he can cut across his arm to get the blood. Healing. Good with medium armor, but I think I'm gonna give him maybe a breastplate. No, he's gotta have his thing open. Arm open. Oh yeah. I like that. We're just gonna go the straight chest plate because I like that with the little thing on the back. Dope, right? Those are pretty cool. Don't know if I want them though. Yeah, definitely want... I think I want bracers on him for sure. Bracers for sure. Man, but what kind? This is always the hardest part about making a character, is just coming up with... I'm like, it's not going to take that long, and then it ends up taking 40 minutes because I can't figure out what I want to do. Bone braces would be cool, but I feel like I need more bone on. Like, go with the undying thing. Simple bracers, I don't mind. Okay. I think I'm gonna go simple bracers, just because they'll be easier to paint, and I want to focus more on like the actual look of him. We'll do that, and then gloves. Oh, I can't do... I have to do armor for... Okay. Me. Definitely want them to be less. But I also like the idea of hand wraps, because like using the gauze as bandages on yourself, I feel like looks really good. Oh, it's always so hard. I think I'm gonna go with the hand wraps. Just because I like that idea. We'll see how I feel about it. I may change my mind on that one. All right, and then let's see. That's pretty cool. So is that, but there's just too much going on for me for that one. No. Don't mind the armored leggings. Leathered leggings aren't that bad either. Don't mind that either. That looks pretty good too. Just straight up leather pants. All right, I'm between the leather pants and the armored leggings. So hard to pick this. That just has too much on. Or I could just go straight up supple leather pants. The armored leggings aren't that bad either. Just gotta figure out how they patch. I think I'm just gonna go with the leather pants. I think those look fine, and they go well with what my idea is. For boots, I don't think I'm gonna do any boots. But I might do some greaves. Yeah, it won't even let me do them. God. I actually like him like that. I don't think he needs anything. Yeah, but that's pretty cool because that feeds into the only issue is the tail goes through. Kind of want the tail there. I'm gonna say no on that. I think I'm gonna say no on eyewear as well. All right, and now give him a sword. Oh, actually. Right hand dominant, so dagger in left hand. Like the flaming sword. Shows off the Blood Hunter stuff really well. That's what I think I'm gonna go with, unless I can find anything else, but I think that should be good. Handheld. Back items, I don't think he needs anything on his back. I want to keep him pretty bare. All right. Let's see. Sides. So, Blood Hunters don't. Green Soul. Just use blood. So maybe some vials. Dun. Do a little pouch like that. I don't mind that because there's another pouch inside or a coin. Actually, I'll do the coin sack. Why not? Unless they're. Ooh. Actually. Put some skulls on him to know. Maybe that's how he talks to his patron. Yeah, I like that idea actually. Alright, pose. So many cool things. And not even. A good view of pretty much everything. Maybe we'll go with that. Maybe just change a little bit about it. Actually, I think I like the heroic one better. Move some things around so it's flipping as much. We'll just do the slain foe. That one's going to be the easiest to paint. Again, I'm doing this with the idea that I'll be painting. Alright, so left arm is this one. Slightly. because I want to be able to show off his arm. Ooh, that's two. I'm gonna be able to show off his arm a little bit and see where he uses his Hemocraft. Like that. Tail. Oh. I'm weird. Tail I want to kind of wrap around a little. Way it kind of fully completes the model. And, like, doesn't leave an open space, but I like that. So I can that. There we go. Actually is resting on his shoulder. Flipping. Does. All right. There's our guy with a base. Do Tundra, so I've got a good, it looks like a Yeti head, so we'll probably do that on a Tundra base. Let's see, add anything? Ooh, or a blood puddle. That's pretty cool. Maybe I'll do some blood dripping from him. Yeah, there we go. It doesn't look so unnatural. Do that. All right, and I think that's it. Last thing to do is give him a name. Oh. Name is Hushed Moon. Alright, so this is Hushed Moon, our Blood Hunter, Order of the Profane Soul, Undying Patron, Blood Hunter. I think it looks pretty cool. Save him real quick. The cart. And then let's get a picture of him. Close that. All right, so we've got him. Afterward. All right, there we go. That's our character for November. Fun. Finally have it somewhat martial class. Keep getting characters that are not fully martial classes, which I always think is funny. But I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break real quick so I can set up on the other side, and then we'll get to painting. So stick around. I will be right back. But thanks for hanging out for this first part, and I will see you soon. Be right back. Alrighty. Alright, shouldn't be too bad. I tried to fix some things. I moved some stuff around. So hopefully it shouldn't be as bad. You should be able to hear me better. And still be able to hear music in the background. We'll do right about there. Hopefully that should be good. All right. So I've already got some stuff on here. Yeah. See what we can get painted up today. So I've got a commission piece I could work on. Also these character models that I can probably do. Don't have a lot of water, so we'll see how far I can get before things get crazy. Let's see if this turning this a little bit to the side might help. Just to see if you guys can hear me better. Hopefully, maybe should work. He's a cool little character by Loot Studios that I've been wanting to paint for a while, so I'm going to. We're going to start with some black brown though. It's already got a pretty heavy matte black primer on it, but just to probably already had some of that paint on the palette. If I turn down the monitor, that should help the sound. So maybe this? Maybe? I don't know. We'll see. It seems like it's working better though, so maybe that's what we'll keep it from now on. God, working audio is awful sometimes. All right, so we're just gonna get a good like base of brown on here. There's obviously like a lot of very fine textures that I want to keep, but I want it to be a base of brown for the leather. So that's what we're starting with, and for that we're using Pro Acryl Black Brown as a starting tone. Just a deeper brown. Been looking for a black brown for a while and they have one, and I really like Pro Acryl stuff. I'm working on updating my repertoire. Of paints. I backed the P3 range, so hopefully when that comes out, I'll be able to review it for you guys, let you know what I think about it. I use mostly Fanatics, Warpaint Fanatics, for most of my stuff, but I've been starting to branch out. I picked up the Squidmar, Vallejo collab. So see how those paints work. I'll just keep you guys posted, let you know what I think about it. I still think the War Paints Fanatic is some of the best paint that I've ever worked with. And that's as someone who really didn't like army painter stuff, because that was what I started out with, and it's just, the old line is just not great. It's a great starter set, but I just, as I've gotten better at painting, I just need the material that I work with to be at the level that I'm at, and the War Paints Fanatic line are that. And I've really enjoyed using them so far. I really like the Pro Acryl stuff too. It's very like fluid, it works very well, it covers very well. And these models are primed in their matte black primer, which is insane how matte it is. But I love matte texture. I think it looks really cool. Gives a nice texture to the model too. Just a really good paint. And then the skin tone on this guy is a mix of not mistaken, is a mix of the black brown and Scarlet from Duncan Rhodes' Tooth and Coats line. Right now, though, I'm just putting black brown on all of the leather parts of the pants, i.e. the entirety of the pants, because they're all leather, and the boots. Just want to make sure I've got a good low tone to start with, and the black brown is perfect for that because it is a very, very deep brown. On par with Brigadine. Green is complementary to red. I don't think I want his coat to be green. I actually don't mind that purple. And because this is technically part of a set. Now this is one I can't sell because this is by Loot Studios and they don't have a merchant license. So unfortunately this one won't be available on the website, but doesn't mean it's not worth painting. Yeah, I just want a good base of paint. So when I start to work in the detail, it's looking good. All right, but for the cloak that he's wearing, because he's going along with this lovely lady, maybe I'll do his cloak the same color, or ooh, even better, I'll do the dark magenta tone. They seal all of them, so you know they're fresh. Yeah, that's a really pretty tone. So I'll start it out with dark magenta on the bottom, and then what I might do is go up and just add a bit more maybe blue tone to it. I don't know. I just don't want it to be too red, because obviously he is also red. And I think that this tone is just absolutely gorgeous. This is dark magenta. This is part of the Ninjon signature series that Pro Curl does. They do, or Monument Hobbies, who is the maker of Pro Curl. They did a like signature series for a couple of well-known miniature painters in the sphere. Vince Venturella is one of them. Ninjon is another one. Flameon, I think, has one as well. And then they do sets for like the events that they go to, i.e. like Adepticon and Nova. But this specific color is from the Ninjon set, and is dark magenta. And it is a very pretty color. For this, I'm just making sure that I'm getting kind of all of the bits. Honestly, the way that it's drying is making it very purple toned. My eyes are just going. I think I'm colorblind, so could be it. I might paint the cuffs a different color, but for now, getting them the same base tone as everything is just going to help everything tie together. So I'm painting them the same tone, even if I will be going over them later and changing that tone completely. Same thing with the lapel. I'll probably just keep everything this kind of base tone, just to keep it consistent. And it's so odd that it's showing up as this like purple, unless it's just so thin that it's just letting the blue tones kind of come out more. Which honestly, I don't mind. It looks really cool. Yeah, it's so weird that this is the color that's kind of coming out. Again, it's almost like blue. It's not, but it definitely looks like it. So the way it dries just doesn't show up like at all. So strange. I wonder if it has anything to do with the paint, that the primer. It's like just soaking up all the paint. If that was the case, then the wings wouldn't be painted. Again, I might go over the lapel and stuff later, but we'll see. I don't mind this color. I think it looks pretty cool. If it'll dry properly, that would be great. Doing a second coat. See if that's what it is. It's just a thin coat. Again, if that's the way it dries, that's fine. I do not mind the way that it looks, so. It's got this very deep purple tone to it. Maybe it's just the way that it dries, because honestly, it's not. It's still kind of dark. That's just how it dries. Weird. And get the vases out of the way pretty quickly. The other one? This one. Yeah. I'll just work my way up. This. So this is a wooden floor base. So it was based in the black brown. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking some ruddy browns and moving up that color family, and then just doing kind of like thin lines of each color. This is like the grain in the wood.
And then from a top-down perspective, wherever the light's hitting the most, these. So he's going to be standing there. Got wings and things like that, so we're just gonna move here. Mid-tone, 50-50 mix of both of them. Get some more color in there. I'm just hitting up the edges with this tone just to kind of give it a nice, not a full edge highlight, but enough of one to make a difference. Here it is. Or even better yet. Go in and darken up some of the lines to give it some more texture. But that should be good for the base for wood. Kind of looks like it. Then you get closer to it and you can see. But should be good. Oh, all right. His base. Make sure he's got color on him where I want it. Is there anywhere else that needs it? Some of that color's there. It's just very dark. And it makes sense. I covered him in black to begin with, so probably mostly my fault. Make his hair brown. Getting some base coats on things that I'll probably paint this month. I still got to print out stuff from this month's releases. Got some really cool ones. Still some very spooky vibes going into October or November. So let's see what I decide to print out to paint this month. But first up is going to be our lovely cat folk. Nice brown hair. He's wearing gloves. This is more of a warm brown. I'm gonna go in with this on the whip that he's holding, which didn't print perfectly, but printed well enough. Right, he's kind of fully got a base coat, which means I can start working on his details when I want to. All right now. 'Cause I got this lovely lady. All right, she got dark plum. I'm sure the dark magenta is the higher for, so yellow is her. Red is her primary, blue is her blue is also her primary, but her complementary is yellow. That's interesting. I don't know if I want to go yellow. I might lean into the greens a little bit for. Purple and green go really well together. Purple and black go really well together too. So do purple and brown. Ugh, it's always so hard to pick my own color schemes. So bad at it. I think she has room for a lot of colors. Wearing a garter belt. Top. This is hard. Do something real quick. She has a want to see what her mine. They also went pretty brown for her. Mostly blacks and purples for her with hints of like greenish gold. Exactly what I said. I feel like I should lean a little bit more into the oh no, she's got green on her. They look black, but they're definitely green. And then a lot of purple. Like the red rose, that goes well with it too. Like a lot of brown, or a lot of black with purple accent. Get some. I think it definitely is. Dark jade. for sure I want these to be that color. Bands. I'm gonna paint all of it this green just so I don't miss anything, because these are some pretty tiny details and I didn't get best print. Actually, that's not true. I got a really good print. I didn't get the best priming because these I primed with a spray can, whereas most of my stuff I usually prime with a air. I feel like this dark jade color is really nice. This is part of the Vince Venturella signature colors. I want there to be more of this color too. So maybe we'll do what they did. I'm trying to put my own spin on it with color scheme, but if you can see someone else's paint job, it always helps because sometimes you don't know exactly where paint's supposed to go, and seeing where other people placed paint, it can be helpful. Again, right now, even if this isn't going to be that dark or have a green tone to it, I'm just painting it green for now. That way it has a good base tone. Plus, I really like this color. It looks really cool. She's got little tassels on her vest. Those I'll probably do in white or very, very light pale green. Tassels. That. Cloak that they also did in like a purple. Maybe that'll be my through line. Maybe I'll make it a dark magenta so it goes with the rest of like what the other guy is. That'll be my through line. Means I can use the paint that's on the palette and not waste it. It does look like it has a trim to it, which I may do, so may not. We shall see. Showing up a little bit better on this one, but it also hasn't dried yet, so we'll see if that remains to be true or not. I'm gonna do this little part of the cloak the same thing. Again, just getting it kind of base coated with the color, even if it's not going to end up that color for the tassels. I'd rather just have it have a good base tone than not. I'm gonna go with the dark magenta as a base coat for it. And that way it kind of works its way throughout the model. It's her body. Okay. And just to make sure I'm being consistent and not using the base coat as a, or the prime as a crux, I'm going to be painting over the areas that are black in a luckily, if it gets too crazy in there, it is black, so it's already a good shadow tone. And this means that if I missed anything originally with the, while I was priming it, I can come back and hit it with a black tone. And these boots that lace up to the knee, definitely black boots. Come on. Not going to tell me anything otherwise. Luckily, I am able to tell the difference between the primer and the paint. Or else this would be futile. There's a lot of fun little tiny details on her that I'm going to have such a fun time painting. And don't let my tone fool you. I am actually excited. Working on details is something that I definitely need to get better at. Having an opportunity to do said thing is always nice. I think that he's got I think I already hit up the top with the hat with black, but just to be safe, we'll do it again. Why not? And I guess because I got the color already, I will work on her base as well. I like when you look at something with just a base coat because it just looks so off. It looks so weird. We got that. This is our lowest one that we've got. Luckily, this one already has some texture on it. I'm just kind of helping to accentuate that. It also, hers has floor nails. So that'll also help give like a nice look to it. I don't want it to be too crazy. I definitely want there to be more. There. For me, I like wood is, it's like one of the few things I can draw really well. And it's something that I take a decent amount of pride in being able to paint relatively well. Painting wood is just a blast. I love the way that it looks. I love the natural feel of it. Make a little bit of a mid-tone here between the two. I can just get even more texture. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. like I said, this one already has some kind of like natural grain in the actual model. So I don't need to do too much extra work with it, but I am, just because I really enjoy painting wood, as I just said, so I'm just giving it a little bit of extra oomph by also painting in some of the color. Really all you do is just kind of shake your hand a little bit while you're painting just in straight lines, and it'll make it look like wood grain. Also, that's really good advice for if you don't have texture already on the model. Just doing slight, like, not zags, but just kind of waves to mimic what wood grain looks like. Five minutes, jeez, time flies. All right, and then this last little bit, she's gonna be right here, covering things. This will be just the tips back here. And just to make sure that this is done, I'm gonna this. Just gonna take some rough iron and hit up the dots and where the nails are, and then what that should help us do is set up a really good base for we'll see if I'm gonna put any rust on it, but it'll already look kind of rusty because this is a very like deep red tone. And then when this dries, on the parts that are mostly towards the light that aren't going to be covered by her, we'll do like a nice bright silver to kind of show like where boot marks would have naturally rubbed this and polished it. And then the parts that are under her will do a bit of a darker silver to do the same effect but in a darker setting. Yeah. So one of my favorite things is like I see a lot of people who paint quite often, and it's always disheartening sometimes looking at it because you're just like, man, I really wish I was that good of a painter. And then you zoom in on it and you're just like, oh wait, no, I am. I just don't texturize when I paint. And the biggest thing that I've been working on recently has been texturizing models while I'm painting them.
Case in point, this is a character model that I've been working on for a friend. This is a commission that I'm doing, and I'm painting highlights. But if you can see, I'm also painting kind of like scratchy in the tunic area and kind of on the back here to give and simulate specific like linens or fabrics or things like that. So when you're painting, you know, we have a tendency when we're doing art to want to paint in the lines, and that can be helpful. But in the grand scheme of how we paint, especially when we're painting miniatures or painting for competitions or things like that, or painting for commissions and things like that, texturizing with the paint on the model to help accentuate the natural textures that the model gives you puts things up to a new level. So, for instance, I don't know when I will work on this and finish it, but I wanted these to be white wings, so I started with a gray base. And as I'm going to go up in color to get them up to white, I will be putting in individual lines to help simulate what a natural feather would look like. Now, it already has some of that texture on there because it's a really, really good model by Rescale Miniatures, who does amazing work with their textures and their details. I'm lucky enough to have some printers that can get those details really well printed out. But adding those lines, when you're looking at it from a distance, helps accentuate that natural look of the feather. So if you are having struggles with painting or figuring out how you want to paint, I recommend just getting a fun model that you don't really care about how it looks, and just painting in textures on it. There's also a lot of companies, I know that for a fact Monument Hobbies has some, and a lot of miniature painters who have their own merch and things like that also have miniatures that they use, but they have texture, like they call them like, what's it called? Texture miniatures or texture like testers, where they have a lot of textures on the model that they're sending you that you can then work on and add, like texturize with the paint and your paintbrush. So if that's something that you're interested in, I highly recommend it. I found that even though sometimes it looks a little messy up close, when you start to kind of zoom out from it and really look at it, it looks phenomenal because it looks natural. And the reality of our world is that our world is messy. Nothing is exactly one color. There's always slight imperfections in it. It's the same thing with non-metallic metal. You want to have those imperfections because it helps show off what the material is. And that is the same with metal. That's the same with leather. That's the same with linen. That's the same with wood. Like literally anything. So don't beat yourself up. Texturize when you're painting, and that will really help out. But yeah, I hope that you guys watch this and get something out of it. I really appreciate you hanging out with me today while I painted. That's going to do it for me today, though. I'll be back next Tuesday, hopefully with a freshly printed character model, Hushed Moon, our blood hunter. But that's going to do it. I'll probably start ending just with a little bit of advice, just because it seems like fun. And maybe I'll start doing like more just videos. You know, streaming isn't the only source of videos that I make. So maybe I'll start making videos and become a part of that part of YouTube. Who knows? The world's kind of shitty right now, but I'm going to do everything I can to continue to be as positive as possible, be a resource for people, and fight for the people who are on the fringes right now. Everyone deserves civil rights. Everyone deserves bodily autonomy. Everyone deserves rights as a whole. And I will continue to do what I can to fight for those people and be a support as much as possible. But that's going to do it for me tonight. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. It's Thursday. Critical Role's back up. Spoiler alert, Vox Machina is back. It's crazy. That's what I'm going to be doing tonight. Spending some time with my wife and making the best of every day that I can. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. If you aren't already following the channel, please do. If you have the financial ability, please consider subscribing or buying something off my website. None of what I painted tonight, unfortunately, is going to be there. But most of the stuff that I paint is going to be up on the website at some point. I will be at DokuCon in literally a week. So many things going on. Super excited. We'll see how things go. But other than that, follow me on my socials at Wheelers Minis on pretty much everything. You guys have a great rest of your night, a great weekend. And remember, if you feel like there's no one in your corner, I am. I got your back. All right. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your night. And I'll see you on Tuesday. I don't know why I'm turning around. Everything's right here now because I updated things. Have a great night, guys.